2 minutes behind schedule. It goes by fast in the morning. What's up, everybody? Kill Taylor is still going. I promise. It's going to be on tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just got shifted to Sunday. The title was kind of a misnomer. It said, there it is, live call-in. There's no live call-in. Maybe. I don't know if I have a number that still works. But most likely, no live call-in. It's me today. We're hanging out for a little bit. Caleb's on a secret mission in the military. We can't talk about it. And Sevon is on his way to a jiu-jitsu competition with the boys, which I've just been absolutely crushing it. And if you haven't gone over and seen the Three Playing Brothers vlog, you should immediately. It's actually fantastic. His oldest son, Avi, films and edits majority of it. Teresa, what's up? Good morning. Live chatting. Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. We also have Herd Fest from John Hurd and John Young. Tyler Watkins are over there announcing the event. And yeah, should be interesting. Have you guys watched it? I saw a little bit of it this morning. I was nervous for them. We were testing out the stream a little bit last night. It was late where they were. And I was like, oh, man, this is late for a test. But the people that John brought in that are running the production, behind the scenes production, really seem like they know what they're doing. They're true professionals. He was asking me questions about OBS versus StreamYard. And I was like, dude, you know, I don't know this much. RB, I've been stuck on the Altamont for a week. Traffic was absolutely insane. What was it? Tuesday? Big Rig flipped over. They shut down the whole entire freeway here. I'm about 5 miles from the Altamont Pass, headed east toward Tracy. And traffic is usually awful through that time, just the normal commute. But a Big Rig had flipped over, and they shut down the freeway going both ways, and it was absolutely insane. Like, the traffic was nuts. I could not believe how bad it was. Majority of the classes here, people were like 10, 15 minutes late. Some people shifted over to the next class just to make their workout. And all these people were already home and just trying to make it through Livermore because everybody was getting off the freeway and trying to do some roundabout way to save themselves time. I never understood that. Like, you know, it's not going to save you any time to cut through the city roads. But people do it all the time. Jordan, good morning. How you doing? The name's changed again. This was not our doing. Last time people were like, Susie, can you change the name back? No, I didn't change it the first time. I don't know how to change it back. It apparently goes with your YouTube handle. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. Hi, Ms. Dizzle Dinger. What's up? How you doing? Soccer Flores. So originally we are going to come on here, do a live call-in. And then I decided to change it. I wanted to talk about, you know, not this the sale of CrossFit in general. I'm sure we're probably just sick of it at this point. It's like this whole every single time it's a new date and there's this new buyer. And by the way, from what I heard, just so you guys know, the whole entire new purchase with the dude from 24 Hour Fitness, which is named Mark, whatever the hell his last name is, Marskoff, whatever. And the investor guy that apparently lives in Livermore. I don't know. Just so you guys know, conspiracy theory. I heard that's all complete BS. And we saw this whole entire thing happen with Malik as well and the Facundo group over there. And you had this situation where they were the front runners and the buyers, like other people were, or the front running buyer, excuse me. Other people were over there and they were saying, yeah, it's going to be them. And, you know, for a period of time, like Rich was on board and then he realized it was kind of BS. And then all of a sudden you realize like these people aren't going to buy it. And they kept kicking the can down the road. Remember John Young was hot on his October 7th date. And then some people really stoked because over in Israel, they thought that they were, you know, remembering what happened over there. And it turned out John was just essentially thinking that there was going to be some sort of announcement with the sale. That came and went. Before that, there was some sort of late August date, I think there was. And the real question that I have, that we should all have, especially if we work from CrossFit HQ, is like, what the hell is actually going on? Now, I don't think there's anything malicious coming internally from HQ, meaning like they're doing this on purpose. I honestly think they have no idea. If you were to ask me, like if we said Don Fall right here, he's right here in my arms. Here he is. Hey, Don. And we asked them, we're like, Don, what's happening? Can you explain to us where this process is in the sale? Is it gonna sell? What's the deal? I honestly think he would say, you know what? I don't know. And here's the weird part about it. Just between us here, between us 68 viewers, because not a lot of people, they're gonna click on and realize it's just me and click off or something. Just kidding. That's me projecting my insecurities onto you guys. That's what happens. I honestly think that he would probably say, I don't know. And what I've heard is that a lot of these buyers were coming in and doing like full on interviews and sit downs with people internally. And they were constructing this like, here's what I would do if I own the company. And, you know, I want to talk to this person and this person. And that just seems nuts to me. Like imagine, imagine if you were like newly single and you had a bunch of kids and you're like, okay, kids, we're going to go ahead and interview your next, your next stepdads. Let's bring them on in here. And then maybe one of them, you're like, I don't know, that one's kind of creepy. And the next one, you're like, ooh, that one's bald and smells weird. And then at the end of it, they all leave and you're like, so which one is it? And like, oh, none of them. Don't worry about it. And then a month later, there's like talk of another one coming through. It's like, it's nauseating. And I could not imagine what it would be like working internally. When we have had Dave on and stuff like that, he kind of pushes it off and he's like, hey, it doesn't matter. We're still moving forward. We're still working on everything that we were working on before. And I understand that from the game's point of view, because it's a singular focus. You have an event that you're going to be pulling off. It's relatively the same as it was years before. And you're just going down the path of that and accomplishing the CrossFit Games and everything through the season and what needs to happen. But the real question is what's going to happen on the affiliate and education side? I think that's going to have way more internal turmoil, if you will, of people jockeying it for like position. Think about it. If you are going to have somebody new that's coming in and you're currently working for the company, I would imagine that two things are happening. Number one, you're fearful of keeping your job. Am I still going to have a job when these new buyers come in? Number two, how could I ladder up? How could I show that like, hey, I know I have a boss above me, but I actually do more and produce more work and I have more ideas than the people above me. So you have this weird, I want to keep my job, but then I also want to put my best foot forward. So maybe that there's a possibility of me getting a promotion when the new buyers come in. You have to think that regardless of who purchases it, you're on this timeline of a chopping block if you currently work there, right? Regardless of what position you are, regardless of who you are. When the new buyer comes in, it's very unsettling. And we watched this happen with CrossFit HQ the first time. There was no doubt. If you guys remember, what was his name? I was going to say, if you guys remember, I don't remember. Andrew Weinstein, I think it was. And it was like Rose's PR, like right-hand man. And next thing you know, like people were just on the chopping block. And that continued for 2 years. And I think that's going to be the same with the new buyers. So if you currently work there, you're a little freaked out, which tells me like, how could you possibly be getting any work done? And that's assuming that you actually knew where to go, what to work on, what the future was going to look like. I honestly believe that a lot of them don't have that kind of direction. And I feel for them. I really do, because then you have critics on here like myself and everybody else who talks about it all the time and is like, yeah, they need to do this or they need to do that. And maybe they agree, maybe they don't agree. Maybe they want to do it. Maybe they don't have the power to do it. Maybe they don't have the budget to do it. Who knows what the situation is, but it can't be good. And when we had the chemtrail guy on, Sean Hubler, it was interesting when people were talking about, okay, if you were going to have this big conspiracy or create something or build something and you need a bunch of people to work on it, how in the world would you keep them all secret? And what I was kind of making the case here is that it's hard enough to get people to do anything in mass cooperation and move towards a singular goal or objective, even when they all know what it is and you're all working toward it. So imagine not really knowing what it is, being remote all over the place, and then still trying to work towards some singular, who knows, direction, goal, initiatives. I'm sure that they have some stuff that they're working towards, but it's that much harder when you're remote, and it's that much harder when each uh, division is siloed off, compartmentalized, right? You have marketing team is over here, content team is over here. They're contracting different people out to do stuff. Education is over here. Affiliates is over here. Once that happens, it's almost damn near impossible to try to get everybody on the boat, rowing in the same direction and rowing hard. In my opinion. The other thing too is I would just be curious as to like what are we working on? What are we working toward? And up until recent with the podcast with Don Fall, which we didn't learn much there. It's kind of the same talking points that they don't really have anything they're working on. It's nuts. Itchy. Former Two Toes. I remember you from this crazy ass photo you have there, your icon photo. That dude is exhausting. CrossFit sale is exhausting. Exit stage left. You're not wrong at all. Wait, I gotta get the right damn, that's not it. Hold on. What the hell happened? Did the Hurtfest people fucking move my shit? There we go. You're about to get crushed. Not former, same. Yeah, I have no idea what the new ownership will look like, or what they're going to be planning on doing. There's another comment up here from Mr. Fergie. You think so? And so the recent people from the 24-hour fitness, whatever cohort, if you want to call it, investors, Fergie thinks that CrossFit gains 500 plus affiliates in one day. You meaning they're like existing franchises and businesses? And I don't really know what that does. Crunch Fitness was already a hit in functional fitness space, just needs L1 hired and classes scheduled. All right. I get it. Idea, let's keep training, enjoy another, and heck with the rest. I agree. But the problem is we have a CrossFit HQ, and whether we like it or not, they're running the show to a certain degree in terms of mass brand messaging that is being put out. And if you guys have gone to any of those clips from my Instagram, especially like the clip of Greg talking at the 60-minute interview, the comment section over there is nuts. Like the amount of CrossFit haters that just come out, a sign over there, that just come out of the woodwork and just start like shitting on CrossFit anytime you post something, it is insane. And it's all the same stuff. It's like, oh, CrossFit's going to hurt you, or, oh, it's a cult, or, oh, they do fake pull-ups. And I honestly think that that there's still a lot of opportunity in explaining what CrossFit is from CrossFit HQ. And I would love to see them. And I think James Hobart would fit this role really well. Do like some sort of podcast circuit around CrossFit. Like we haven't seen something in the sense of like what Greg used to do, like a 60 minutes interview, or now you have all these podcasts that would be more than happy to focus on health and fitness. And there's no representative of CrossFit that are in any of them. None. And it's kind of missing out on this new age media. And whoever goes to do these interviews or do the podcast, like they have to know their shit. Like they got to really know it, and they have to know how to articulate it to any audience that's sitting in front of them. And they have to be able to not be afraid to lean into all the objections or the normal kind of BS hater stuff that's going to come out about CrossFit. Like you have to be prepared to do that. And outside of somebody like a James Hobart or somebody who's from the past, even like Dave would do good, but you might need somebody like James who has a little bit of a different charm, let's say, than than Dave would going on these things. Like you have to have somebody that's a front like spokesperson, in my opinion. And they need to be doing all this. Like there's a lot of this new streaming stuff. There's a ton of new podcasts that could reach a new audience. I really think that you have to appeal to constantly appeal to a newer, younger generation. And I don't see that coming from HQ. So if there's one piece, like I know we talk about the media all the time, and I'm not going to get on the tell the stories inside the affiliates. Like, fuck, that's just exhausting. And affiliates could tell their own stories, frankly. Like, pick up your phone and do it. I think that they need to be doing it within this new podcast circuit of like the Nelk Boys, even like Impulsive. Like, there's so many different podcasts where you could reach this newer generation of younger people that would be into CrossFit that they don't like. There's no spokesperson for it. There's nobody there. Jump ship. You're up early, huh? For Hawaii, assuming you're there. I'd love to see Hobart in that role. Me too. I think he'd be a really good fit. Would Nicole be a good fit? No, I don't think she would be. I think not in that setting. I think Nicole has a ton to offer CrossFit, a ton to offer the brand. I think she singularly has had a ton of influence in the health and fitness space, more than she'll probably ever get credit for. But in that particular setting, no, I don't think she would do well. I think you need a Hobart, to be honest. Appeal to the endorphins and dopamine rush. The problem with that appeal is you're talking about what happens after. You have to be able to get them to do the thing first in order to get the dopamine and the endorphins and dopamine rush. So you have to be able to start with like dispelling the myths of CrossFit and get in there and speak about it in a way that is going to appeal to that audience. It's 4 a.m. every day. You get to sleep in. No, I don't really. I mean, I guess I sleep in compared to 4 a.m. That's crazy, Seth. 4 a.m. What are you doing? Is the baby up or are you just it's Saturday? You running 4 a.m. classes? That's nuts. Need to seduce them first. Sure. Taylor on Impulsive would be crazy. I don't think that would work out. I don't think that would work out for Taylor very well. He would have like, actually there's two things that happen. He'd have like a crazy loyal following of a bunch of new people, and he would have like 2 times the amount of haters, I think. Brandon, young people want things to post, aesthetically pleasing. That's where High Rocks serves them. It looks cool and can brag on IG to their friends. They used to be the CrossFit Open, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, but they used to be the CrossFit Open. And again, that's like a relationship standpoint from CrossFit. Like if you were kind of this media authority and stuff in the health and fitness space, especially in the education or the training side, which we clearly have the authority on in terms of the L1 and the L2 and what that brings to market. But if you're not exploiting those relationships, if you're kind of creating them as enemies, that's where you get this High Rocks versus CrossFit thing. I think it just became the enemy. They became the enemy because honestly, we felt threatened about it. We were like, oh shit, look, these guys are doing basically a CrossFit workout, which is a shitload more running. And they're able to set it up all over the world and people are showing up in masses. We should hate them. And that's the way that relationship had turned. And it's definitely fun to poke fun at High Rocks. I mean, I have done it for sure. But at this point, now you have more gyms that are considering like, oh, maybe I'm going to be a High Rocks affiliate, which, by the way, means absolutely nothing except for people that want to do High Rocks. When they show up, it points them to your door. Now, that's where I think the biggest missed opportunity, if you were to say in the last 5 years with what the new helm at CrossFit or whatever, the Berkshire people that are sitting in there now, I truly believe that that's probably the biggest missed opportunity, was creating and cultivating some sort of relationship with High Rocks. And technically the what you would call it, the tactical games as well. Like those should have been events that CrossFit should have been to some degree sponsoring or partnering with, and then utilizing the education and the training methodology to pop up a tent there and say, hey, guess what? If you want to be really good at this, you need to take these courses and you need to go down to your local CrossFit affiliate. Like I firmly believe that, because those type of events, and I'm lumping, and even like the Spartan race, you saw that happen with the Spartan races early on. Like those type of events, we know as people, coaches, affiliate owners, CrossFitters, that if you do CrossFit, or even if you do CrossFit as like a supplement to your training, I'm using air quotations there, and did it 2 to 3 times a week in addition with running 1,000 meters or whatever the hell is for the High Rocks events, like you would get better at those events without a doubt. And so not having some sort of relationships and some sort of partnership with them makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me, especially when we come to the High Rocks thing. CrossFix. Man, we got a bunch. We got like the Tyson, the Mike Tyson CrossFit, and we got CrossFat. Now we got CrossFix. You'll never say it all or in a way that speaks to every audience at once in a single commercial or campaign. The media, stories, explanations of CrossFit need to be constantly varied. Yes. And I like how you threw constantly varied in there. Very well. CrossFix. Yes, I preach that all the time. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I've talked about it so damn much. I'm sick of talking about it. It's like, yeah, CrossFit needs to have media that is constantly coming out. It's not. So when you talk about a campaign, and this isn't to shit on like currently what Jen and them are doing. So please, if you're listening to this from HQ, or don't take this the wrong way, the campaign thing is fine. I don't know what constraints you guys are underneath when you're working, but here's the deal. When you have a campaign, you're focused around one singular objective. In my opinion, we want to sell this iPhone. Okay. We need to sell 100 iPhones. Okay. Now we could build a campaign around selling 100 of those iPhones. We have a very clear objective, sell 100 iPhones. And now we need to build some sort of media and messaging that's going to accomplish that for us. That's it. It's packaged up as one thing. Sell 100 iPhones, create media messaging to get that done. Campaigns work great for things like that because you could package it all up. We have an objective. We're working toward it. When you don't have a singular objective, like sell 100 iPhones, and the objective might be create a stronger brand, reach a newer audience, have a messaging that dispels some of the myths or objections around CrossFit. You can't package that up into a campaign. It won't happen because it's constantly evolving, and your messaging and your target of what you're trying to accomplish is constantly evolving. So you have to switch gears from campaign to media company. And there's two different things that are happening there. I also, going back to the compartmentalization of stuff, I also fully believe that when you have all those teams compartmentalized and you start looking at content different than marketing, that's where the problem lies. Like media this day and age, whether you're doing paid ads or they're buying impressions or like whatever the case may be, like you can't separate out marketing and content. You can't compartmentalize like, oh, they work on social media and we work on the campaigns and the games teams work on the documentaries. Like, I do not think that that is going to be indicative of the media that needs to come out. I think it needs to all be packaged up as the one thing. You're just media and create it all the time. Start compartmentalizing each one of those departments and bucketing them off. And everybody's kind of doing something a little bit different. And then you get that weird like jockeying for position. Like, oh, you can't post that because we're posting this. It's out of sequence with this. It's out of sequence with that. Everybody's spinning their wheels in the dirt. And then they start to eat each other. Nice coffee break. Anyways, Pat Lang, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Welcome back. It's hard to see with your head up your butt. Yeah, usually. I remember when CrossFitters would come into our Globo gym. They were different, and they definitely segmented from the general population. We would just look at them and think, what's the rush? Why are those guys always in a hurry? And why are they using so much equipment? The base show, create a problem, give a solution, provide a service provider, basics of marketing. I mean, yeah, it's like a hook, the solution, and I just don't think that CrossFit is sold the same way as normal widgets are. As he's building his company, he's documenting everything via YouTube. Everyone feel like they were a part of the growth. Are you talking about the original CrossFit HQ? A play off the old our warm up is your workout. Your event is our training. Oh, I like that. I like that, Matt Burns. Your event is just a workout. No, the relationship portion of any company or any business is huge. Like if you imagine something that like a run club popped up in Livermore, and there's two options. And there are run clubs in Livermore, and this is, you know, you can use this as a real example. The option one, hate on the run club. Oh shit, I saw the run club out there. Now they're pushing sled. Those guys have no idea what they're doing. That's just a CrossFit workout. We do that here at my gym. They're runners and they look dumb and we make fun of them. Or I walk over and I meet the owner of the run club and I'm like, hey, what you're doing is awesome. I'm stoked you're getting people excited and learning more about running. I would love to host you guys. And what do you need help with? Maybe I could put on a little recovery. Maybe I could just show some strength training. So that way you're keeping your hips and legs and knees and everything all strong and safe for your running. Like there's way more opportunity in that relationship than there is just the default to making fun of them or villainizing them, in my opinion. So is there an Anytime Fitness in Livermore? Yes, there is. There's definitely a Anytime Fitness in Livermore. There's also a 24-hour fitness here, and they built it out a few years ago, and it was supposed to be like this grand 24-hour fitness. It's like 2 stories and all this stuff. And as they started shedding stores, that one was still popular enough to where they kept it. But that place is a dump. Like they have this little turf. You know, they have this turf section in their functional fitness section, as majority of these Globo gyms now do. And it is gross. Like people are like, oh yeah, you lay down on the turf or you do burpees and you're like, there's just like gum crushed into the turf and it's all disgusting and homeless people shit in the shower there. And Taylor, when he visits that 24-hour fitness, sorry, unnecessary shot. But yeah, it's completely gone to shit. That one has. And then we have like the mega one in the city over called San Ramon, which I think it's kind of close to where the original 24-hour fitness was. Would that start down in the down south? Or was that a Bay Area thing? I want to say it was a Bay Area thing, and I think San Ramon was like one of the first ones. But yeah, we got them here. Dude, come on, all you're doing is like leasing space here. And I'm going to talk in just a minute. I'm going to go through some of these comments, but I'll tell you guys kind of what I've been doing with the CrossFit Medical Society a little bit, and hopefully more affiliates. I know some affiliates are already doing it on their own. Like all of them are kind of doing versions of the same thing. And I hope we do more of them because it's really helped me here. I bet if you ran a High Rocks sim at CrossFit Livermore, you would sell out. Yeah, I mean, CrossFit 580, the gym up the street from me, has done their High Rocks thing, and I know that's done pretty well for them. When there was I think the race was all the way down south in Anaheim, though. It's about 6 hours away. So I don't know if they had a ton of people that signed up for it, but I think it did pretty well for them, enough to where I do believe they became like a High Rocks affiliate. So I'm curious. I'm actually buddies with the owner of that place. About 2 years ago, I was going to buy it, but the landlord of that place was just a douche and blocked our deal. And then the guy who owns it now was a previous member, didn't want to see it go away, and purchased it. And I think he does something in marketing because they have a pretty decent amount of media marketing that comes out of that gym. Ryan, I'm running a picture-in-picture to watch Herd Fest to double support the channel. Good job. Thank you for that. We appreciate the support, and Herd Fest appreciates it as well. How is it going over there? Check that out. I saw it this morning, and that's awesome. The picture looks great. We'll check it out in a minute. I wonder if there could be a strong fit hybrid model, 3 days strength training, 3 days CrossFit. Yes, I'll talk about that in a second here, Friggy. Waffle Stomp. Oh, shit. A mouse just ran in the door. I haven't seen that in fucking forever. That was crazy. It's been a few years. Interesting. What if I jumped up on the chair and screamed like a little girl? You'd be like, I knew it. I knew he was a little bitch all along. Good morning. Just got done coaching. What I missed? Nothing. We're just BS. We're just hanging out this morning. Just hanging out. Lifestyle was decent at the hospital. Dude, that's a throwback. They haven't had that forever. We've been a High Rocks affiliate for 2 years. Never run a sim. If people want to do High Rocks, go to High Rocks. So it hasn't helped at all, is what you're saying there. Hasn't helped at all. Get a cat, a gym cat. Yeah. Okay. So one of the going back to like what Fergie had said about like strength training versus like 3 days of strength training and 3 days of cardio, 3 days of CrossFit. So we started doing offering a initial meeting when you come in here. And what we do is we do a mobility assessment, and all that is taking you through what I call the big three. So your overhead press, your squat, and then your hinge or your deadlift. We do it just with the PVC pipe. And it gives you a time as a coach to kind of look over those, because most of the movements in CrossFit are going to be based off of those three things: squatting, hinging, pressing overhead to a certain degree. So it gives you time to go through those three in detail, to look at them, to give some feedback as far as like positioning, how they're able to move, how they're able to be coached. Like, do they have enough kinesthetic awareness where you could make a couple corrections and they could adjust their body to them? You guys, if you're an experienced coach, I eventually have worked with that person that, let's say they go down to hinge in a deadlift and they just got that full rounded back. And you're trying everything you could do. You're standing them back up, sitting them back down, trying to tell them pull their belly button down to the floor, trying to get them to sit their shoulders up. And like, for the life of you, you just cannot get them to take the roundness out of their back. They have zero kinesthetic awareness of their body. So it allows you to know, okay, this person's coming through the door, and it's going to take a little bit to work with them to make sure that they're safe and doing the movements properly. You can kind of mark that down in your mobility assessment. Or you have the flip side of that, where you could give a few corrections and boom, 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 they're able to adjust and get into those shapes and positions immediately with very little coaching. So like, okay, you got a lot of kinesthetic awareness. Maybe you played sports or you had gymnastics or something growing up. So that's why I like to start with those three. Also, too, it allows you to really show off, because those are really simple movements. Chances are, if they've exercised before, they've deadlifted, they've squatted, and they pressed something over the head. So if you're able to take those movements, which they already think they know, and add some sort of coaching cue to it that really helps them along, like, hey, pull your rib cage down when you're pressing up overhead so it doesn't put pressure on your back. Hey, your center of gravity is really far back on your heels. Let's put it through the center of the foot there and center your gravity so you're not feeling like you're tipping over. They get really impressed by it. Like, holy shit, I've been doing these for forever and I've never heard some of those stuff before. So that right away is starting to showcase your expertise, but it also is giving you a crystal ball into how this person is going to move. The second thing we have is the Embody. It's sitting right over here next to me. That gives a skeletal muscle mass body fat percentage. It also gives them some numbers to look at. You could start to discuss and build some sort of meal plan or dietary stuff with them, or just basically go over the basics of it. Hey, are you getting enough protein? What does the diet look like? What are you struggling most with? So less fancy words equal better cue. And so you're able to then have that discussion. Now, with both of those pieces, the mobility portion of it and then body scan, depending on what you offer out at your gym, there's opportunities for you to upsell something right there. So you could say like, hey, this is great. Like, we got to put a bunch of restrictions in the overhead position. Like, I would love to work with you a little bit more on one-on-one to kind of make sure you're up to speed. And we could give you, some exercises to correct that. Also, you could give stuff away free there. Like, hey, here is a list of stretches that I'm going to recommend that you're doing at home, or maybe you're doing kind of before the class starts, to make sure that we're correcting some of the mobility issues that we see, right? So there's plenty of opportunity, whether you sell them something or give them something, to really showcase like, wow, this is different. I've never heard this stuff before, and I'm already getting stuff from this gym. This is great. Day one at this first appointment. Same thing happens with the Embody piece of it. Now, the third one, which is partnering with the Cross Medical Society with, is being able to get a blood panel drawn. So you could go in there, they fill out the rec for it, they send it to them in an email, and then once they take it over to like LabCorp or Quest, or where you would normally get your blood drawn. Or you could reach out to Cross Medical Society and they'll help find a phlebotomist to come to your gym, and you contract them out and they actually do the blood draw at your gym. So to me, that's a huge differentiator in a step towards health, being able to offer that for them. Now it shows up in their dashboard and puts them on a sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. It gives them like this red, yellow, green assessment across all the different things that they're measuring in their blood, and they can kind of know where they're at and where they stand. So that's a huge differentiator for what you could offer as a CrossFit affiliate. And I like it because we also package up our on-ramp in that, as well as like a month's worth of membership. So you get them assessed, you go through all the different options with them, you get them into the on-ramp class, you take them through the on-ramp class, typically within, the 14-day window, they've got their blood work back. They could speak with a doctor over at CrossFit Medical Society. They can share some of the information freely with you, and you can make adjustments in their diet if necessary. So I really like starting with that, because then as you go to that second meeting, you can kind of put together a game plan for them. Like what Fergie was talking about, where you might say, hey, your goal is to get a little bit stronger. We could go ahead, in addition to the CrossFit classes, do some one-on-one training, or put together some accessory work for you, or, put whatever, check the box there that you could give to them or sell to them that would help them accomplish their goals. So it just allows you as a CrossFit gym to just offer so much more, but have more of a personal touch. Maybe too, after the assessment, they go through all of it. They're just like, hey, I really like being here and working out with the group. And you're like, awesome. You're fit for the group class. You finished your on-ramp class or your elements or whatever. You're good to go. Go into the class. And then you also have data on them. So you could check back in 30 days after they've been doing the class, if they just decide to do the large group stuff. And you could come back and you could say like, hey, Matt, it's been 30 days. Did you want to schedule another Embody and kind of see the progress that you've had? Did you want us to check up on any of the stuff with your nutrition or your mobility? Like, how could we help you? And essentially you're just offering all the expertise that most L1 coaches have, most affiliates have, but we just don't really showcase it in a way that we should. So I don't know, just a little tidbit there. I've been working on it. We're filming and documenting a bunch of it here at the gym, and giving it to CrossFit Medical Society, as well as any other affiliates that just would want to follow that same protocol or learn more about it. So I don't know. Hope it helps you guys out. So far, it's helped me out. We test piloted with originally, you're just going to be 5 of the members of my gym. I had 7 people end up signing up for it. I pretty much sold the blood panel as $200. I pretty much sold the test pilot for it at cost, and was just like, it's $225. If anybody wants to sign up, I need 7 people to test it, or 5 originally, and I got 7. So that worked out great, and didn't have to do anything besides send out 1 email, and it filled up, which was crazy. We're also doing and filming I did this to rip off what Sevon did back in the day, because I just thought not only would it be a fun project, but the person who I have doing it with me has just this hilarious personality, similar to Gary Roberts, but maybe not as flamboyant, if you might say it that way. I don't know. Don't want to insult Gary, but he's hilarious. He's very open, but just different. And we're filming a Killing the Fat Man version 2, season 2, rip off of Killing the Fat Man, whatever you want to call it. And I got Sevon involved. He's helping me kind of explain how he filmed the first one with Gary Roberts. I have Jay Vera helping me on it. We'll probably have Rios help me edit it. Not help me. He probably will edit it when he's done with the behind the scenes stuff. And we'll get him on the podcast. Friend of mine, member of the gym, he's going to turn 40 this next year, and was kind of at a crossroad of, hey, am I going to continue down this path and end up having to eventually be on medications and, start the whole, obesity situation with chronic diseases? Or am I going to go down this path, lose the weight, get fit, and be able to kick ass as I get into my 40s? So anyways, we filmed a bunch of it already. It's been being filmed for probably the last 4 weeks now. We just did a second Embody scan. So I'm excited to get out a little teaser so you guys could see it. Sevon will have him on the podcast, like me and him at the same time. We'll chat about it. And then hopefully we'll be able to release some of the episodes soon. I want to get not all of them together before we release it, but I'd like to kind of wrap my head around how many think we're going to have. I want to say there might be 4 or 5 of them. And then we'll start to, once we get at least 2 of them down in the can, then we'll start to publish them out. So yeah, it should be good. I went to his house, like filmed, like he was totally open. So I started going through all their kitchen cabinets. We started talking about their, like how he was eating, like the different stuff that, he was eating. Yeah, it's cool. And hopefully you guys enjoy it there. CrossFix. InBody is having an end of year sale. Which one do you have? I have the InBody 270. I bought it because it folds up and travels with me, and I use it for the fire departments. So that was the reason why I went with that one. I forget how much I paid for it. Maybe it's like $5,000 or something like that. But it's made its money back a few times over. Bought it probably 4 years ago, I want to say. Haven't had any issues with it. Just like a update that needed to happen one time. And then, oh, that's a lie. One time I had to send it back because one of the arm handles wasn't reading. No fault of the machine or InBody. It's just because I travel a shitload with it, like a lot with it. I drive it out to Hayward, often, and it probably moves and travels around with me more than one InBody should move and travel around. But it's held up really nicely. And like I said, it's made its money back like multiple times over. So if you're considering it or you're on the fence with it, I would definitely say go for it. But if you do go for it, like set up a plan. Don't just buy it and have it sit in the corner, because it's easy to have that happen too. Fergie, my first affiliate had teams during the open, Friday night lights, and themed workouts. That is when I drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I agree too that the open needs to be a really big portion of getting people excited about CrossFit. That is the mass community event. And to be honest, I would say like not last year, but maybe like 2020-ish, like after the sell, I didn't really promote the open as much as we used to. We always still had a handful of people signed up. We still talked about it. We still did the workouts in the class. Like on Fridays, it's always the open workout, whether you're signed up for the open or not. It just becomes a class workout. So none of that changed. But I would say that there hasn't been as much like enthusiasm, at least from us, as from the affiliate standpoint, as there had in the past. And this year, I really want to lean into it more. I want to get back to how we did it in the past, and create the themes, maybe some team stuff, like make it fun. We always still have the Friday night lights. We've always still done that, but it is a big lift on the affiliate owner's part. Like you really have to get in there and promote it, sell it to your members, talk about it. If you're the affiliate owner and you're putting it on, you have to buy all the tape and, bring all the people together for judging it and all the logistics that come around with it. And so it does get it, if you don't have big participation and you're not really into it, it becomes like throwing a freaking event every Friday night that you don't really feel like throwing. And that's when you start to lose like enthusiasm and stuff for it. But with that being said, really want to lean into it this year and do some cool stuff. I think I'll start by doing a kind of a get ready for the open like supplement program in addition to the normal CrossFit classes. Most people know what they need to do. They would need to work on their gymnastics. They need to practice their double unders. They need to get a little more consistent. They need to dial in their diet. So thinking of putting together a little supplement program that we could give to the members to kind of showcase like, hey, we'll help you prepare for it too. So you feel good about it and you feel excited about doing it. Speaking of which, if you guys are in the area, I'll be putting up the link. I'll put it on this show, actually, in retrospect in the show notes. We're going to be hosting Dave Newman from, he's the CEO and founder of RX Smart Gear. They make the jump ropes, one of the original ones. And he's going to be coming out to CrossFit Livermore on Saturday, December 20th. It's a 2-hour double under jump rope workshop. He'll help you size the jump rope. He'll go over all the detail of it. He'll teach you some double unders. If you're a coach in the area and you want to come to it, I'm going to make it free for coaches. So if you guys want to come out, Dave said that he gives like a lot of drills and different stuff that coaches could like utilize in their warm-ups, help their members with jump ropes. He said that's where he gets like a lot of the positive feedback from is like coaches being like, cool, I'm going to adopt like 4 or 5 of these things and put them into my warm-ups, help people practice, and utilize a lot of that information to help people get their double unders. So if you're a coach and you're in the area, or you just want to be in the area, on December 20th, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., I will help you guys. I will make it free for you guys. So if you want to come around, feel free. Sevon is going to be here. We're going to be filming the event, and Sevon will be bringing his 3 boys as well to come out and learn some double unders. So if you guys want to come out and do that, hang out, you're more than welcome to. For people that are just joining that are not L1 coaches, I'll probably make it like $40. I'm thinking. I'm not doing it to make money. That's a lie. I'm doing it to make money, bitch. No, obviously there'll be a little bit of money made, but I'm really doing the cost there. So that way, because we're going to end up having a limited amount of spots just because Dave only has the capacity to, teach so many people. I think he's coming out and doing it on his own. But I don't want people to like sign up for it and not show up. And when it's completely free, there's no accountability to actually doing it. So you kind of just like, oh yeah, I'll sign up for it and don't care. I also don't want to make it so expensive that people are hesitant towards it or have to make their decision based off the money. So I think $40 is that sweet spot. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it too much? It could be 20, but I feel like 20 might be a little low. Maybe 30, split the difference. I don't know. Either way, like I said, I want it to be something that people could come out, could utilize. Not a big deal as far as the cost goes, and we are filming it, so we'll have a whole crew out here and everything else. Kind of the arrangement that I made with him. He's going to come out, run the whole thing for me for free, and we're going to send it back a bunch of footage of him teaching it, so we could market it and continue to do it for other gyms. SEMA 40 is fine. 2 bills from the ATM, right? That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I will do. I don't know what if I'm gonna do for my members. I might make it free for them, or I might just cut that price in half and make it $20, just so that way I get everybody to show up. And it's on the 20th. I wonder if I could get in shirts by then. It'd be cool is if I make it $40, but then also if you show up, you could get a Cross a Little More t-shirt, just included in your $40. Might be fun. I don't know. Have to have skin in the game. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Need skin in the game. Because you know how it is. If it's free, there's just like no accountability to showing up. A lobotomist. Lobotomist. Pool boy. Phlebotomist. By the way, I have your bag here. You left it by the door. Hate when I have to do that too. Set it down on the front desk. Close everything up and leave without it. Dun, dun, dun. Lady Heavy Lifts. Cool name. I'm trying to get more people to officially sign up. I have our Olympic lifting class on Thursday nights, but during the open, it turns into open prep class where we practice the movements. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. That's really the way that you have to, like, you got to start way out ahead of time to promote the open as an affiliate owner. If you try to do it, like a couple weeks beforehand or something like that, or like you need to prep the people. Most people won't do it. And they'll say, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Or I don't want to do the competition. Or, so if you're putting together some sort of prep program, it gets them excited. You get training for it. They could even take the prep program beforehand and still be on the fence about the open. But once they start putting an effort towards some of the movements, some of the skills, they kind of want to put it to use and give it a try. Like I said, we'll be promoting it more this year. I want to get someone out to do a Friday Night Lights here at the gym. It might be tough for him just because the drive home in the dark through the 17. If you guys have never driven that here, that road is windy and dark. So it's a little tough to have him drive out, do it in the evening and drive back home the same night. But hopefully we could get him out here to do a Friday Night Lights with the gym. That'd be fun. Will there ever be a surge of garage CrossFitters following main site, or is it all on affiliates now to grow the base? That is a great question. That's a great question. There'll always be people, I think, that'll do it at home. But I do not think we're gonna have the same generation of garage gym goers as you did in the past. I think some of those people were the ones that were looking out to find the next newest kind of fitness thing and found that they could do CrossFit and you could get elite fitness done inside of your garage inside of an hour. I don't think usually now from what I hear, the majority of the garage gym CrossFitters are ones that like used to belong to affiliates or were coaches at one point, then either moved or they had like some sort of life event, like I had a kid or had a job change and my schedule changed and I hadn't been able to make it to the gym. So I built one out in my garage just for convenience. I think you're gonna have way more of that. Like there's almost like the path is through the affiliate and then they go to the garage gym as opposed to the garage gym first and then to the affiliates. So to answer your question, I think 100% it is on the affiliates to grow the base. The talk that I gave at Affiliate Con and then recently, was it last weekend? Yeah, it was. Seems like it was so far away, but yet so close. The talk I gave last weekend was more of a panel discussion at the West Coast affiliate gathering, a smaller one at Craig Howard's gym in Diablo. I said the same thing at both of them, which is, hey, it's pretty much up to you now in terms of being able to become the media outlet for CrossFit in your local market. And I talked about a couple of strategies that we kind of use through our Instagram or through the media here. One of them being like highlighting your reviews that your members are sending in. The other one is showing people stuff about CrossFit that they don't know. So rather than making your media just around people lifting weights and doing Metcons and, the shirtless 20-year-old doing a bar muscle up, like highlight a little bit more of like the mobility that people don't see and how much it restores their mobility. Highlight a little of, hopefully you have this at your gym, but highlight the organization where you have everybody lined up and you're like drilling the snatch or drilling some sort of movement. Like showcase like a coach going over something in detail or like a little bit more hands-on. Those type of pieces that you would post showcase what people don't know about CrossFit or could dispel some of the myths in the bullshit complaining people do on the internet about CrossFit. So I do think it's really up to us to grow the base and to articulate our media coming out of our gyms in that way. That's big. The other thing too is building associations around your local area. Talked about this quite a bit too, but like get involved with like the local farmers market, maybe a local farmer, the butcher, a health food store if you have one. Go down to your local coffee shop. Like there's lots of different ways to kind of build partnerships and relationships with other small business owners. I always suggest that you start with people that are of the same mindset. So like if you have a local farm, obviously, that's going to be on the nutrition side of what we do, eating real whole foods. So to be able to build that relationship with them, bring them into your gym. We've done that here at CFL, and they do this thing called the CSA where you could buy into the crop and they come and deliver all their fresh stuff when they harvest a couple times a week here at the gym. And it makes it super easy because, they just show up and all the produce is boxed up here, ready to go, fresh from the local farm. So you could do stuff like that. It doesn't need to be that extravagant. It could be something where you just know that there's the local coffee shop that you love to go to and a lot of your members love to go to and have a conversation with the gym owner, take a couple pictures, maybe with the coffee shop owner, take a couple pictures of their business and post it up on your Instagram and offer a collab with them, get exposed to their audience. And those associations are important for the local affiliate because that's how you build trust within the community. Like you might have they might have an audience or customers or whatever that go to that coffee shop that maybe have never heard from you. That seemed very official. Bye, Matt. Bye, Judy. Was it something I said? Come back. And you get exposed to their audience and to their customers that they might not know who you were. But now that they're like, oh, I like Paul down at Story Coffee and I trust him and whatever the case may be. And he's buddies with Matt at CrossFit Livermore. And I've been thinking about working out. Cool. I might go there. So building the associations and getting in front of your local audience is important. The other thing too, while I'm on the local media kick for affiliates, is don't get caught up in the same metrics that people that normally try to grow an Instagram or grow a YouTube get caught up in. I had a couple of questions that were about, views or engagement or what should I focus on? And I was like, you should focus on like interactions with people that could join your gym. Like, you know, if you look at some of the stuff on my personal Instagram, there's a couple of the clips that we've posted that have, you know, 900,000 views. How many people of those views are walking through the door of CrossFit Livermore? None. So it doesn't that doesn't really matter in the sense of like building the associations and having 2 or 3 DM conversations with somebody reached out that is like, oh, I've always wanted to try CrossFit, or, oh, you know, my friend Jeremy goes to that gym. Like, I've heard it's awesome. And then you DM that person. You're like, yeah, hey, we love Jeremy too. Like, you should come in and work out with him. Does next Tuesday at 5:30 work for you? So that's going to be way more important than just trying to get views or like engagement, because what you really want is people walking through the door of your gym. You want conversions. Now, if you're an online coach, it might be different, but if not, Janelle, remember your name, even though your handle's all DJ Winston. She was talking to Matt Burns. Oh, okay. Thank God. Oh, yeah, here it is. Matt Burns. Have a great day, y'all. Judy said, bye, Matt. Okay. It's my insecurity showing again. Does that include me? Yeah, you got collabed with on the sleep one. Our AI generated sleep optimization slides, stills, as they say in the biz, stills. So anyways, long answer to CrossFix's question about who's speaking to the base there. But it needs to be the job of the affiliates. In that, regardless of how HQ functions, that's true either way. Like, either way, that is true. That is how you should be operating. And I know I need to be doing a lot more of it here. Like, we have a content schedule and our stuff posts pretty regularly, but like, I got to get back out there. So we even did something one time while I'm on this tangent, and it actually worked. Okay. We got one freaking person from it. So don't underestimate the power of a flyer, but we just took the CrossFit logo, like not CFL's logo, like the actual CrossFit one. And I blew it up on a regular piece of paper, big. It just said CrossFit huge. And underneath it said for beginners. And then it just had a QR code. And then underneath the QR code, it said CrossFit Livermore. And we just walked downtown, and anywhere that we could post it where we wouldn't get in trouble, we did. We just went into like random businesses, you know, restaurants that were there. Some of them have like a community pinup board, whatever the case may be, taped them on a couple of the message boards downtown, and just put them all over the place. Started on one end, walked all the way down. I think we ended up putting up maybe 30 of them or something. And I didn't hear much for a while. And then somebody came through the door, and we did the normal, like, cool, like, so how'd you hear about us? And they were like, oh, I found the waiver or the flyer downtown and just scanned the QR code and filled it out, and you guys reached out to me. And we're like, no shit, you did the flyer downtown? And they're like, yeah. I kept walking by it every time I, you know, was down there, grabbed my coffee or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I want to try this. I'm going to go for it. Took like, you know, whatever, less than an hour to walk down there and get all those flyers up. And again, we were building relationships with some of the business owners that we didn't know of down there. Like, hey, can we hang this thing up? My name's Matt. I'm from so-and-so. And you're able to have those conversations, build some more associations. That's Ethan's bag. Oh, all right. Thanks, Pool Boy, for clarifying. The bag looked familiar. I didn't know whose it was. Okay, well, that's pretty much that. So anyhow, I just got a message saying I need to invest into a new mic stand. I have mic stands. Originally, I was going to bring it here. And then I kind of like holding the mic. Like, people show up, they don't know. Am I going to sing karaoke or I'm going to talk? Also, too, it definitely keeps me more like engaged, I feel like, with the show. Because I got to hold on to it. Do you guys hear the rustling around of it a lot? Is that annoying, though? That might make me bring the mic stand. But if you don't really hear the rustling around, maybe it doesn't matter. So, just about done. Please sing for us. If this thing gets one like, I will sing karaoke. Just kidding. Moving around, I agree. No rustling. Okay, that's good. Thanks, dude. Grant, I I was watching your High Rocks reel where you like do the mirror thing, and then I'm assuming that was your daughter at the end. That shit was funny. I was cracking up. And the only thing funnier than that was like the comments that came out from some of the hybrid athletes. That shit was hilarious. Good job. It was a funny one. It was a funny one. So now that it's an hour and no one will make it past this part, what do you guys think about the Epstein files? What do you think's going down there? I would just want to talk CrossFit for a while because I feel like it's been a minute since we've like talked, the CrossFit HQ debacle and just about affiliates in general. But now maybe we could venture into the realm of the Epstein files. You think anybody goes to jail or gets held accountable for that? I fucking don't. They never do. None of those politicians, none of them ever are held accountable for anything. And if they are, it's probably because they went against the grain of whoever is really in charge, and they were low-hanging fruit in terms of just being set as an example. Well, we get this person in trouble, and then people will believe that there's accountability in their system. There ain't nothing. Susie, can you give me the script to invite my neighbor to the gym? Man, I wish I had like the perfect script to it, but honestly, like I go back to being able to articulate CrossFit in a way that is to the person that's right in front of you. So what I mean by that is you can't come in kind of with this run-of-the-mill script. Like you kind of have to understand like what their goals are and what their fears are around working out in general. Most people are going to be probably terrified to go into a CrossFit gym, especially if they're deconditioned. And deconditioned is a nice way of saying they have not worked out and they're most likely overweight. Because that's like the hardest part is for them to get over themselves and the fear of looking stupid or not being able to do it or just making that lifestyle change in general. So what I will give you though is a couple ways that I've packaged it up differently. So number one has been the fire department. Like going in there to sell that to them was really interesting because if you start with like it'll prepare you for the unknown and the unknowable, they're like, what the fuck does that even mean? So I actually normally lead with the mobility piece of it. Like, hey, majority of these firefighters here are suffering from hip and back pain, and with proper training and the proper training protocols that could go with it, we could alleviate some of that hip and back pain. If you have somebody who wants to get stronger or has like a more of a reason why, I suppose, like, hey, I had a scare at the doctor's office and they told me, I was going down this wrong path if I don't make some immediate changes. Or, hey, I was running around with the kids and I got super winded and realized like I can't even do that anymore. So if it's something like that, like you could definitely lean towards that route in terms of helping persuade them to get them into the gym. But the main thing that you need to do is find whatever motivates them or is motivating them, and then kind of pull on that to get them to come in. The second thing too is like give them an out, like give it kind of multiple steps depending on how afraid this person is. So the first one might be like, okay, just come in with me so you could see it and maybe meet the gym owner, and they're gonna chat with you for a minute just so you could check out what it's like. Or maybe it's like, hey, you could come in, but don't worry, we've had people that have come in and just gone through the warm up and then like left or something, right? So if you feel that they could get like an out, it's a little bit less scary for them, that might be an option too. Because by the way, by the time they get in and they get moving and they do the warm up, like, that they're not just going to leave, right? But sometimes having the ability to know that they can helps a lot. Now, if you're also trying to get them to work out with you at home and not go into affiliate, slightly different conversation, a little bit easier, because you could start with something as simple as like a walk around the block. And then the second time you walk around the block, you time it. And then the third time you do it, you say, hey, do you think in this last section, if we walked a little bit faster, we could beat that last time that we had? And then you could kind of gamify it like that. Then start building in some air squats and stuff and slowly let out the rope on the exercise over time. So there's a couple different ways to do it. But the main thing is to package it for them, the person in front of you, not just kind of the run-of-mill. And, it's the best exercise protocol. And you're going to get prepared for the unknown and the unknowable. And it's constantly varied high intensity exercise done with functional movements. Like, we have to get away from those buzzwords that as CrossFitters, once we drink the Kool-Aid, we know is cool. But until you really know it, those words don't mean a lot to you. Kind of what I was saying about the emphasis on like the L1, L2, or L3 as a selling point for your gym. I personally, I don't think that matters as much as we think it does. Like, it's good for your education. don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pursue those things. You definitely should as a coach. But I'm saying like leading with that as your advertisement. I don't know anybody who's coming in off the street that's like, hey, I showed up because I saw you guys were all L3s. They probably don't even know what that means. I bet you if I went on right now, the 8 a.m. class is starting. I bet you if I went out right now and asked them about L1 or L2s, like majority of them probably wouldn't even know what I was talking about. So, okay. Seema, love it. Thanks. Oh, good. I'm glad that was helpful. That's good. That's good. For the record, I'm winded anytime I run with the kids or when you walk up flights of stairs. I've been doing CrossFit for 15 years and I walk up a flight of stairs at the airport with my bag and somehow I'm still winded. What the fuck is that? CrossFit's Epstein is still alive and financed Rosa. It's in the files. Damn. Wouldn't that be something? Seema, I want them to focus on inflation in budget for fuck's sake. Thank you for saying that. I think it was on one of the podcasts, and it's a lot of the conversations that I have anytime we go to the political realm. I'm like, it's all political theater and it's all distraction. You know why? Because the income to debt ratio in American households is awful. Americans cannot fucking afford anything, especially to own assets. And when you talk about the middle class and the differentiator between America and the other countries, it's the fact that you could own a home. It's the fact that you could own an asset. And that's what creates a quote unquote middle class. And the second that you don't have an opportunity for ownership of anything, your home or any other assets, and you could barely make ends meet because inflation is through the roof and the cost of everything is getting higher and higher, and the buying power of our dollar is getting lower and lower due to inflation and other forces, you lose hope. And once the middle class loses hope, aka the American dream, own a home, have 2.5 kids, a house, and a white picket fence is gone, and there is zero chance of you obtaining that, that's when you have a real fucking problem on our hands. And that's where we're at now. And the situation is only getting worse, and there's nobody's addressing it. Right? We had Doge come in at the beginning, and here comes Elon and his group of really smart fucking kids. And then it just kind of went away. No, but don't worry about it. They're still working on it. Yeah. Except for Trump added another $2 trillion to the deficit. Well, he's betting on AI. Bullshit. The other thing, too, with this whole ICE thing, which is fucking hilarious to me. Like, they still haven't even put out like numbers on the amount of deportations and shit like that. I have my own reason to believe that seems more like political theater than it does anything else. But the funny thing about it is they're like, oh, we're not going to go after the farmers and the other workers. Well, of course you're fucking not, because that benefits the corporate interests of all those people that are exploiting, or all the corporations that are exploiting those people. Why would you pull them from the hotels and from the farms? And why would Walmart pay to have all these protests? Because they're exploiting those people with cheaper labor. Because if they went away, it would affect them economically more than anybody else. So yeah, Trump will always be the darling of Wall Street. And they'll always put corporate interests first. The Make America Healthy Again movement, too. That's a fucking joke, huh? Oh, I pray to God every day that I would get put in a position to put money back into the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, save the kids from chronic disease. Bullshit. Now, whether they get into the system and they're just unable to do anything about it, who knows? Because, the guys in the black suits show up and say, hey, you're not going to say this, and this is the way the things go. Or maybe it was all a facade. Maybe you were just being told what you wanted to hear until they got into office, and then it got back to business as usual. And the whole entire deal with like, well, we're going to lower prescription drug costs. Oh, are you? Fantastic. That's fucking great. You're going to lower prescription drug costs. Why? Oh, well, then the government will actually just subsidize the pharmaceutical companies in the insurance companies, and we'll still make the system so fucking hard and ridiculous and complex. Because why? Well, we need to bend you over and screw you. It is not about your health. It's never been about your health, and it's always been about their fucking profits and interests. Always. And so that's why you get this Make America Healthy Again shit. But yet you still got Trump at the fucking McDonald's, whatever the fuck. And they're drinking, their Diet Cokes and having McDonald's on Air Force One all the time and promoting all that. And it's so ass backwards. And the biggest thing now is they're like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fix this food pyramid. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're going to fix the food pyramid. The other thing too is like those institutions are so entrenched with the fucking bots that work there. And then if you put anybody in charge with half a fucking brain, they can't do anything anyways. Like you already saw Jay Bhattacharya, friend of the show, got to hang out with him a couple of times at Greg's events. He got to hire what, 2 other people out of like the thousands that are working there. It's like, yeah, forget it. The National Health Institution. Cool. Fucking means nothing. Yeah, exactly. But it's cane sugar now. Ooh, it's Mexican soda. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyhow, off my soapbox there. But yeah, I just think it's BS. And the whole thing too is like so many people are just riding the fucking cock of Trump as if he's self-funded. He's a disruptor. Yeah, me too, buddy. Look at me, fucking. I'm disrupting with my little microphone over here sitting in my office with the same fucking sweatshirt I've worn for the last month and a half. Disrupting. Bullshit. Anyhow, what are you guys talking about? Deadlifts now and squats or something like that? Got on that shit. It just is annoying. It's annoying because nothing ever changes. No one's ever held accountable, and all the corporate interests are still exploited, and you are too. I saw something like 53% of the people detained by ICE are nonviolent. Yeah, that doesn't matter. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning. Let's check out what's happening over at the Herd Fest. Oh, check it out. We got look at Tyler. He looks all professional and shit. Screen share this with you guys. And we could do this because, it's on our channel. So we own it all. We own it all. Where's our sound?
About the crowd so far, like I was really surprised to walk in here into the Armory, and there's a good number of people here. It being, like you said, being in the Northeast, I don't think people are used to coming to a competition up in the Northeast. A lot of people here.
Yeah, I mean, again, like these don't happen that often. I can name you 2 or 3 that get this type, and yeah, I'll just name them. Metcon, Fight for the Fittest,
Fighting My Cords here,
which happens in upstate New York. Those are the only 3 in the Northeast, and I think even Metcon Rush technically will fall like Mid-Atlantic. But as far as like a 3-hour drive from where we are, those are the only 3 that pull a crowd like this. We're all in different parts of the year, so I think it's really important that we have these things. I know in other, like you go to Florida, there's one of these like every other week,
Right.
So to be able to provide this for everybody, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, selfishly, or maybe not so selfishly, not for you.
Right.
Tell me about drop number 4. This is.
Look at him go. That looks fun. Tyler seems like he's in a good mood. That's awesome. I'm stoked it all came together for him. That's cool. John has been working hard at on Herd Fest here.
You're pushing more into the merch space. The stuff looks good. Joe Piero, by the way, he's got
182. Look at that.
85 on the bar. They're just
dang, good for them.
But anyway, tell me about drop number 4. I really dig this hoodie. You've got a cool shirt on.
You got a cool shirt on. I've got a cool shirt on. Okay, go over and watch the Herd Fest. They've been working hard on it. John's been working hard on it. You got John Young on the mic. You got Tyler Watkins there as well. Looks pretty good. It's going to be going on all day, and it's only a 1-day event. So go check out the stream. If you guys go over there, tell them I sent you from this show to that show. Because why? I need credit, guys. Come on. It's how I keep myself going, okay? It's how I keep myself going. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Kill Taylor. Is it a new Sunday show? We don't know. Is it going to be back on Saturdays? Possibly. Investors? Maybe you.
You show up every day to change lives. You manage a million little details, all of them critical. We get it. We know the founder mindset because Wodify was built from the ground up, just like you. We know details because we're true partners who fine-tuned every nuance of our own platform to make it work seamlessly for you. We know customer service because we obsess over customer satisfaction. You need a partner who understands your business and a platform that helps you run it like a well-oiled machine. More than another vendor, we're a partner who cares about your success as much as you do, powering your vision into a reality and your business into a legacy. We provide tech that can keep pace with your growth. The founder hustle never stops, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But with the right tech partner, you can focus on doing what you love, while we run things behind the scenes, making your business as strong as your clients. We're Wodify.